Tyrone Dobbs was struck by a vehicle in dramatic moments on Coronation Street last night, but is actor Alan Halsall set to leave the ITV drama, or will his character bounce back? In yesterday's shocking episode, Tyrone was knocked down after a car swerved to avoid Betsy in the shopping precinct, colliding with him before fleeing the scene in a hit-and-run. This incident has launched a new plot for Tyrone, who now faces a serious spinal injury and a difficult recovery, with wife Fizz by his side. In upcoming scenes, he confides in her that he has lost all feeling in his legs. Discussing Tyrone's mindset, Alan explained, "As you'd expect, Tyrone's immediate reaction is confusion. He has little memory of the accident, no idea why he has ended up in hospital. As he regains consciousness and feels the intense pain, he realizes something is very wrong. He can't move his legs. That sparks overwhelming fear, leaving him panicked about what has happened and why his body feels this way. He is petrified." Alan continued, "He chooses to tell Fizz privately while they're alone in the hospital, as she doesn't want to alarm anyone else, especially their daughters. When he starts piecing together what's happened and why he's unable to move his legs, it's his family he needs most, because Tyrone has always been a family man. But deep down, there's a constant dread about how his life will change after the crash. He wants to appear strong for his loved ones, but it won't be easy." The storyline is set to unfold over a long period, focusing on how the family supports Tyrone through his gradual recovery. Speaking about the wider impact, Alan remarked, "Tyrone realizes a lot of responsibility will fall on Fizz, looking after the children, the household, and work. He's very conscious of that and doesn't want to make things harder for her. Tyrone means well, but sometimes his approach isn't the best. Even now, instead of being open with Fizz and sharing his emotions, he tries to protect her and the kids by hiding how bad things are, when honesty would help more." Coronation Street has partnered with the Spinal Injuries Association to ensure the storyline is realistic, and Alan has been learning the physical challenges he must portray. The show is fantastic at doing its research. The truth with spinal injuries is that no two cases are the same. Talking with medical advisors on set, I've been asking things like, how far could I move my shoulders? Can I turn my head? But the reality is that everyone responds differently after surgery, so there isn't a fixed timeline, he explained. That gives the writers flexibility, but it also highlights the importance of accuracy. We know real people at home are living with these conditions. The charity is even arranging for me to meet someone who has gone through a similar experience, which will be invaluable for bringing authenticity to the role. Tyrone Dobbs also sparks concern in the ITV soap next week after the shocking hit-and-run. Lisa Swain looks ready for battle in coming episodes, while Tracy Barlow gets a nasty surprise as she continues her blackmail scheme against Carl Webster in Coronation Street. To begin with Lisa, viewers now know that her wife Becky, long believed dead, has been revealed as alive. 4 years after Lisa thought she was killed on duty, Becky appeared at number 6, leaving her partner reeling. In later scenes, D.I. Costello warns Becky to keep a low profile, or both of them could end up behind bars. At the same time, an enraged Lisa storms into the station to confront him, but he refuses to bite. DC Kit Green alerts Carla Connor, Lisa's fiancée, that Costello can't be trusted and she should tread carefully. However, when Carla reveals Becky's shocking return, Kit is left floored. Determined not to back down, Lisa barges into Costello's office and insists he tell her everything about Becky's fake death, or she'll expose the whole story to the press. Later in the week, Carla urges Lisa to be honest with her daughter Betsy about Becky, believing she'll eventually discover the truth and feel even more betrayed. When Lisa refuses, Carla secretly calls Becky over. In an emotional moment, Becky breaks down and pleads with Lisa to let her see their daughter, while Carla hopes Lisa will change her mind. But Lisa firmly tells Becky she won't cause Betsy more suffering. With no choice, Carla sends Becky away. Still, later on at the precinct, Becky spots Betsy talking to Ryan. Will she risk blowing her cover to reach out? The drama doesn't stop there. When Roy Cropper finds Becky at number 6, she tries to claim she's a work colleague of Lisa's. but Roy doesn't believe a word and insists he knows she's Becky Swain, reminding her he saw her at the hospital. Lisa fills Roy in, but he makes clear to Carla how badly her lies have hurt him before walking out. Lisa begs Roy to understand Carla's reasons, insisting deceiving him was never their wish. It was about shielding herself and Betsy. Will Roy forgive them? Meanwhile, Brody Michaelis assures Kit that neither he nor Dylan Wilson were connected to the hit and run, explaining that he was having a seizure at the time. Yet once Brody is alone with Carl Webster, he reminds him that they abandoned the car before heading to hospital. He adds that when he later went back to collect it, the vehicle had vanished, suggesting someone else must have stolen it and then run Tyrone down. At the police station, PC Jess Haywood questions Dylan. When Dylan insists he was at the hospital during the crash, could that be enough for the officers to release him? Back at the hospital, Tyrone regains consciousness in clear distress and urges Fizz to fetch a doctor as he has no feeling in his legs. Fizz is shaken when she rings home to tell the family about Tyrone's upcoming operation. Later on, Tyrone, still recovering in his hospital bed, quietly admits to his gran, Evelyn Plummer, that he might be stuck there for months, and worries Fizz will struggle to cope with the pressure. Elsewhere, Kit warns Carl that he'll be keeping him under close observation. Abby Webster also adds to the pressure by hinting that the car which struck Tyrone could have belonged to Fiona. Carl brushes it off before secretly meeting Fiona, telling her he had no option but to burn the car. But when Kit arrives and questions why Carl is spending time with a known criminal, is Carl about to be caught out? That's not Carl's only headache, as Tracy gleefully reminds him that her next blackmail payment is due, or she'll spill the truth to his half-brother Kevin Webster about the fling with Abby. Soon after, Tracy tells Abby she's had enough of installments and wants the full amount immediately. When Abby informs Carl, he insists he'll pay £500 and that will be the end of the matter. But when Tracy makes it clear she's the one in charge, Abby argues they should just come clean to Kevin about the affair. Carl refuses and instead proposes they call Tracy's bluff. Will Tracy expose the truth, and how will she react when a masked intruder smashes up her flower shop? Over in Weatherfield, Todd Grimshaw and Theo Silverton are thrilled to move into the corner shop flat. George Shuttleworth pops round with some beers, but when Todd invites him to stay, Theo looks visibly displeased. After attending a custody meeting, Theo vows to fight for access to his children. He later opens up to Todd, admitting he fears his ex-wife Danielle will declare the flat unfit for the kids if she sees the mess. Once Theo is left, George, Billy Mayhew, and Brian Packham team up with Todd to tidy the flat. Near the end of the cleaning session, they snack and dance to some music. But when Theo returns and sees the cheerful scene, how will he respond? Coronation Street continues on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. on ITV1, with episodes also available on ITVX and YouTube.